just left the mall, I'm getting flawed with my baby, yeah. And I get robbed with my baby. I be in the kitchen cooking pies. I'm like, hey, what's up, hello? See your pretty, soon as you came in the door. I just wanna tell, got a sack for us to roll. Married to the money, introduced her to my stove. Showed her how to whip it, now she remix it below. She my track queen, let her hit the bando. We be counting up, watch her for the bands go. We just said it though, talking about some Lambos. 56 a grand, 500 grand though. Man, I swear I love her, how she work the game pole. Hit the strip club and you let the bands go. Everybody hate her, we just call the fans though. In love with the money, I ain't never let go. I be smoking deep, but you know backwards when I roll. With me boy Betty, that's for sure. I run in your house, then remember me boys and nothing, remember me boys and nothing. Yeah, you hit my boy, sounding like a zillion bucks on the track. I got whatever on my boy, whatever. Put your money where your mouth is. Money on the wood make the game go good. Money out of sight cause fights. Put up or shut up, huh? Ninja Grit, huh? RGF Productions. Saturday morning, I ain't gotta work. Last night's show sold a lot of merch. Bad bitch in my bed, so I ain't got a jerk. Forbes list caught me, so it's hard to make the dollar hurt. All we need is good green and some blue. 5 to 1, so it's guaranteed you can do you. Still keep the heater just in case we have a boo-boo. Kansas City natives and we all a little cuckoo. This is how to make a hood go crazy. On the interstate doing 180. She said, do it for me, baby. Took a double shot and then we all went crazy. White girls go crazy. Black girls go crazy.
Good afternoon and welcome to Mount Hope High School in Bristol, Rhode Island. It is Rhode Island girls high school action between the Mount Hope Huskies and the Coventry Ochres. Matt Ellis alongside Chris Hetu in a bit of a delayed start. Coventry caught in some traffic today, and so be it. The state of Rhode Island as it is, and they're still in the pits of warm-ups. We were supposed to start this game at 5:30 Eastern time. Looks like we're going to go about 5:45 Eastern time.
Yeah, I mean, the traffic obviously was a big problem. I saw it coming in. It didn't look good going towards Providence at all. And we'll see if it affects Coventry's gameplay today. Obviously, not as much time warming up as Mount Hope did earlier. So we'll see if it comes into their game, especially considering they're winless on the season, trying to pick up a crucial win today. So we'll see if they can live up to the task.
Big news for the Mount Hope Huskies. Abigail Rosino, Player of the Year in the state of Rhode Island, Gatorade Player of the Year nominee, out for the game today against the Huskies. That's a huge loss on the front line.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge loss, and it's going to be a good piece to really build on for the opposing team, really. I mean, they're without their best player, so do everything you can to expose the weaknesses without that person on the team. That's all it comes down to, is just getting some points on the board.
It's going to be up to Tori Crash Karoa and the birthday girl, Hannah Resendez, to see what they can do on the front line for the Huskies. We're about 5 minutes away from kickoff. We're going to keep it right here. You can enjoy the look from our brand new goal camera, and we'll be right back in about 5 minutes. You're watching Rhode Island High School Soccer on Fans Only Sports Network. And good afternoon once again, and we welcome you in the broadcast booth here on Fans Only Sports Network. Matt Gillis alongside Chris Heatu. A sunny and 70-degree afternoon here in Bristol, Rhode Island. After the couple of 56-degree days, all of a sudden here we are back to summer, it feels.
Yeah, definitely. The weather's kind of inconsistent right now, but that's New England for you here. Sun's starting to go down, so it'll probably cool off and have some nice weather for this game, really. I mean, the cool soccer weather we all know from the fall. And we're looking forward to see these two teams kick off.
For the Mount Hope Huskies, a win versus Barrington and Portsmouth in the season. They had a great draw against North Kingstown, very tough game. They have two really tough ones coming up next week, away to Cranston West and to LaSalle Academy. For the Coventry Oakers, it's been a difficult season, very young roster, certainly looking towards next season. But having seen Coventry already once this year, they can press hard. They will frustrate a midfield if you're not careful trying to get progressive play out of the back line. So as we take a look at that, as the teams trotting out here to the pitch, it will be Coventry in the all-white kits with the red stripe across the center. Mount Hope in the all-black with the white numbers, wearing pink socks in honor of October and Breast Cancer Awareness Month. As we put 40 minutes on the clock, Coventry over top of the ball, and we are going to be ready to go in short order of time. Referee checks the goaltenders on each side. White says ready, Levesque says ready, checks his watch. Whistle sounds and we are underway in the first half of action. Thank you for tuning in this afternoon/evening on Fans Only Sports Network. A handball right away, and that will give the Huskies the ball here. Emma Serps to the outside for Caitlin Tercero. Actually, she will check back to Patty at first. Ball pops up in the midfield. Coming down and cleared through the midfield. It spins off of the back of a midfielder. That's Sarah Sacchetti for Coventry. Little obstruction there will send the ball to the Huskies on a free kick. You can zoom in. You can zoom in a little too. Opportunity here coming across the mouth of the goal and unable to get the back post. Right up top. Yeah, zoom in. And that's a 6 for Alex White. Good boot by White. Goes to the outside. Will be controlled by Coventry, trying to move it up the far side line. Gets into the back line for Mount Hope. Cleared out to the opposite side here. They try to switch field. They get it to Sacchetti. Sacchetti has to drop it back. It was Maddie Moore in the midfield there trying to control the ball. Dispossessed. And it will be controlled instead by Kaylee Patty. On the outside here for Serps. Up front for Maida. Comes across into the midfield for Resendez, the birthday girl, Hannah Resendez. Emily Moran also celebrating a birthday today. Moran on the bench as a swing player. She'll come in somewhere later in the game. And offside called is just a little bit ahead of the leading pass.
Yeah, both these defenses and offenses trying to feel each other out here just from the start. Really not much ball movement going on into each other's ends, I'd say, right now. Give it some time, and they'll get some offensive power going.
Coventry with the free kick start will deflect back off of a midfield player from Mount Hope. Comes back to White. White, big boot. Back to the center of the field. Picked up there by Patty. Has to drop back as Mount Hope looks to reset. Sarah Gale sends that one out of play. It went off of a Coventry defender's foot. Moved along here, far side touchline, and out of play, so that's going to be a Mount Hope throw in. So he Serps back there. Serps back there in the midfield. If they can release out to her, Goldstein tries to go to her, can't get all the way through. Now they finally get it to Serps, and she can turn up the alley. Good pass from Serps. On ball for Tercero. And she is taken off. Coventry sends that one out, and it's going to be a deep throw for the Huskies. And Emma Serps is actually going to leave it. So we'll see who's going to come in. And now she'll track back and actually take it. As the sun ducks behind a cloud that is rolling across as it pitches towards the trees, and we're going to get a clear field of vision within a very short order period of time to the midfield. Gale tries to make a turn to the outside. They get it on the foot of Chloe Diaz, and she runs out of real estate. Just about 5 minutes gone by here in the first half. Thank you for tuning in this afternoon on Fans Only Sports Network. Today's game is brought to you by Second Time Around Sports, Manny's Sports, and RREliteRecruits.com. Kicked into the middle. Coventry trying to work it out of play. Instead, here it comes up onto the foot of Goldstein with a run, pace of play, and then it rolls right off of her foot into the hands of Angela White.
You could see them really meticulously working the ball up the field there. It looks like they're trying to set themselves up in a good spot to get some points right away.
Kuroa outside to Diaz. This one ticks off of the hand of White and goes wide, stays inside of the byline. Coventry trying to clear it out of play.
Looks like they're trying to look for somebody over the middle in front of that goal. No one there really to get the ball in.
Maida shifts one in the center. Goes wide of Kuroa, and Coventry will make it clear, but nobody back for the Ochres, so this one is going to shuffle all the way back and be easily contained by Serps and then be pushed up for Maida. She'll work the line with Caitlin Tercero, and that one is kicked out by an Ochres midfielder. Tercero sends a nice ball into the center. Goldstein tried to send that one over. Instead, it sends Kaylee Patty chasing back. Huskies will reset. Serps for Tercero, worked on the outside for Serps up, making their points known to how they feel, in a whistle by the referee, and he's going to have a conversation. And Kaylee Patty's going, "Do you mean me?" And I think he's just going to have a conversation with both of them, between Kaylee Patty and Christina Lang, and just kind of say, settle it down. So no cards given, no fouls given. Just a standard free kick and a discussion to both high-powered leaders of this team to just settle it a little bit. Patty with the restart. That one goes as far as Sarah Sacchetti. Outside hit by Maida, went a little wide. Sacchetti on the throw-in. Route jumped there by the Huskies, and it's Hannah Resendez off to the races. Resendez will be pushed out of the play by Jackson. Recontrols the ball at the 18. Resendez crossing shot, and Goldstein sitting right on the back post. It was a little high of her head.
That was a great setup there for the goal. You had two people in position. Prime spot for you to get some points on the board, but just a missed opportunity there by Hope.
Game 1 of 2 here at Mount Hope High School this evening. The Mount Hope will be in action against Hope High School Blue Wave. That game comes up around about 7 p.m. Eastern Time right here on Fans Only Sports Network. Myself and Chris Hitu pulling the double tonight as we will have the call for you on that game as well. The Cranston West Falcons in a big game. You can catch that as well right here on the Fans Only Sports Network channels. Out of play will be a throw-in for Chloe Diaz. As the sun outside the broadcast booth directly across from us gets lower and lower, and our vision gets better and better.
Yeah, a lot better than it was earlier. I had to wear my Ray-Bans earlier just to block this sunlight out and actually see this game.
For a point of understanding, if you've not been to Mount Hope High School before, it is a north-south field, the press box being on the east side, so the sun sets directly in our eyes whenever we are calling afternoon games. As this one is going to be looped up and goes just wide of the cage and out for a 6. And again, it has been Resendez, it has been Maida, it has been Tercero, it has been Goldstein. It's who wants a shot. Chloe Diaz, a couple in there. Nobody seems to be able to solve the backside of the cage. Coventry trying to get an outlet here. Hit the referee, came down. Drawbridge had it, and they're going to say advantage for Coventry because it hit the referee and then went to a Huskies player. Standard situation there. However, it's going to be picked off by Resendez on the back pass, and an opportunity here. Kicked out of play by Krupka. And so the Huskies will have a throw down around about the 30-yard line of the football field.
Yeah, definitely some good awareness on that last play there. Knowing that there was really nobody else there to help her out, she just kicks it away, makes sure it goes out of bounds so nobody else can get that ball.
That one squibs out off of the foot of Resendez. Serps right in the area as well with Tercero. No one able to make the tap. White, big kick again. This one will be traveled on by Diaz. She gets taken off of the play. Coventry tries to cycle back here through the midfield. Oakers with a bit of a run here, and that one is stepped over by Maida. Bounces back the opposite direction. And offside called.
That's definitely going to be disappointing there for Coventry. Had themselves a good rhythm moving that ball up the field, but got a little too ahead of themselves right there, hence the offsides.
Looked to be Caitlin Dowling that might have been the leading forward. Tapped by Coventry here. Worked back through the center. Maida clears to Serps. Dowling was trying to bother her along with Aguiar. Offside called prior to the obstruction, and so it's going to send the ball to the Oakers. That will easily be taken by Maida. Sends it forward for Patty. Leading pass for Resendez. Resendez makes a cut. Can she cut back? And Resendez across, and it's tapped away on the Coventry defensive line.
That was the one, Matt, right there. That's the one that should have put points on the board already. Once again, Mount Hope just getting a little too excited with these goals here that they're trying to get. Just need a little more discipline on that field, and they'll have it.
It's going to send them to their second corner of the match. It's going to be Caitlin Tercero to take the corner. Big boot by Tercero on the backside, redirected, and it goes the wrong direction off the head of Goldstein. She wanted it on the inner right side of her head. It hit the left side of her head and went out. Throw in to Resendez. Outside as it's picked up by Drawbridge. Patty. Resendez again inside. Tercero had it almost on her boot. Couldn't get it. Comes back across for Tercero. Shot score! Caitlin Tercero.
That's the one we were talking about. Just great discipline there. Great awareness. Good job moving that ball. And that's why Mount Hope's got points on the board. Being aggressive early.
It was only a matter of time before it was going to come. We saw Diaz on the line. Goldstein was right there. Tercero was there. Finally, it's the pass across from the birthday girl, Hannah Resendez, that hits Caitlin Tercero, and it's 1-0 Huskies. And this one will drop back, and having to make a quick little scoop up is Logan Levesque, and that might be the only time tonight we call her name. Drops down for a chest control from Serps. Gets that across for Tercero, who just scored the goal to put the Huskies up 1-0. Here's Resendez on a run. Resendez tripped right at the 18. Holds up. The ball got trapped underneath, and they're going to call it Coventry ball.
That's an interesting call right there. I mean, I don't know if they're calling it for tripping or what the heck's going on here, but very interesting call there by the referee.
Hannah Resendez, my apologies, had the ball, had the run of play, was in possession, obstructed by the Coventry defender right at the 18. Resendez kept her footing. The ball stayed trapped underneath the Coventry defender, and they somehow called that one to the Oakers. Not entirely sure.
Yeah, I'm confused
how that
on
one
the call.
goes.
I'm confused on that call myself, Matt, and kind of scratching my head.
And here comes down in the midfield is Corolla. No call.
Very interesting no call right there by the referees. I mean,
shepherding that one back is Drawbridge for Levesque, who will send it out of play in front of the Coventry bench. Well, I'm going to take my 33 years of soccer and chuck it out the window.
Yeah, I guess the rule book's not here today on this one. That was a clear trip there in the field, and yet no call made.
Wow. For point of reference to why I'm talking about that, myself, I spent 23 years as a player. I've done coaching and broadcasting for 10 years. Putting all that together is where I get that 33 years of experience. I've played at every possible level that you can play at. I wish I got to play in USL or the MLS, but I was never that good. I did play indoors in the heyday when indoor soccer was a thing in the MISL. But this is wow! I have never seen that blatant of a no call. And we continue on here. Resendez has an opportunity for a run on. Instead, Tercero is going to go there first. Resendez cuts back to the midfield off of the boot of Tercero and hits the side of the cage.
Yeah, Mount Hope really likes to take it on that right side of the field here for Coventry going into their offensive zone. Kind of interesting strategy. I don't know if they're going to try and change it up because it seems like that alley over there is pretty clogged up for the most part.
Halfway gone by here in the first half. Thank you for tuning in this afternoon on Fans Only Sports Network. Today's game is brought to you by Second Time Around Sports, Manny's Sports, and RREliteRecruits.com. This one back through the midfield. Opportunity there for Drawbridge. Settles outside instead for Maddie Moore, who will move it up along the near side line of the benches, and then will be taken by Drawbridge off of Moore's shin guard. So a throw in coming up for the Huskies, and substitutions about to come as well as we see movement on the Huskies bench. Are they going to get the substitution in on this play, or are they going to have to wait for the next? May have gotten to the center line a little too late. She did, so they're going to wait for the next whistle. Free substitution rule in high school, and there is a makeup call the opposite direction as Kuroa intersects with Dowling. No, I apologize. That was actually Faith Moore, number 10 for Coventry. A restart here for the Ochres. Resendez picks it up herself and has a run here, 1v1 against Sacchetti. Resendez inside against White, comes out and will make the save.
That's a major stop right there by the goaltender. All of her defenders were really loosening up and giving this player all the room here for Mount Hope, and good stop by her going out and taking the ball herself.
Backfield progressive play here for the Huskies, trying to release far to the outside was Gale, trying to get to Tercero, and instead it was a little too far and out of play. Hannah Bishop for the Ochres sends it across the field. Lila Mayato back to White as she works with Hannah Jackson and Olivia Krupka on the back line. It gets as far as Tercero here at the midfield, and then we'll settle back across. Trying to release Resendez from the midfield looked to be that of Diaz, and then on the opposite side was Goldstein, and it's going to just pop up for White. Rubbing her off of the play is Kuroa. Kuroa gets in a tie-up there. At the center, releases forward for Goldstein, and a little too much mustard on the first touch. Booted by White, can get it to her midfield, boxed up there by Mount Hope, trying to have to settle it. All over that play is Kuroa. Tercero chases Krupka. It goes on the line. Whistle called from the opposite side. And he's calling a restart free kick by the Huskies way back about 20 yards from where the ball was while it was still in play, and the Huskies had a position of advantage. Resendez throws one right on White.
White's been doing a great job today. Coventry's asking a lot from her, really, considering Mount Hope has been able to take the ball deep into their territory each possession. But she's been playing a great game today. This score could be a lot worse than what we see so far.
Ball out of play. Substitutions abound. Both sides can make them as they are all at midfield. And one of those pre-substitution rules where even if you're off of possession, if the other side is making substitutions, you get to make yours as well, not having to wait for your own possession time. Tercero popped up for Resendez, settles back in for Goldstein. Trying to release Resendez was Barasa, and instead it hit the side of Mayato. Emma Barasa, one of the few seniors left on this team, along with Tori Kuroa, Giovanna Goldstein, Lila Biancuzzo, Logan Levesque, and Sophie Pimentel, who is out for today's game due to illness. This is a very young team, so a lot of look forward to next season for the Huskies. as they hope to pick up a win here today, try to get themselves back on the win column side. But, of course, two very difficult games coming up next week against the Cranston West Falcons and the LaSalle Academy Rams, two of the top teams, not just in the division, but in the state. This one goes ping-ponging through the midfield, finally settled down by Krupka, tries to send it forward, and all it can do is deflect off of the side of Emma Serps for a throw-in by Sacchetti. Sacchetti controls there. It's moved along a little bit more by Maida. Pops up. Handball called finally, and will be a restart for the Huskies with 13 and change left to go here in the first half. Thank you for tuning in this afternoon on Fans Only Sports Network. One of 3 Rhode Island High School soccer games on the network tonight. Cranston West Falcons girls team in action against the South Kingstown Rebels. That game is available as well right here on fansonlysports.com. And coming up following this game will be boys soccer action between the Mount Hope Huskies and the Hope Blue Wave. That game is scheduled to kick off roughly right about 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And to all of those out viewing the games, thank you so much for all of your viewership and support throughout this 2021 season, to an extent as of time, and obviously there's still time left in 2021. 145,000 unique viewers throughout the United States of America.
It's a pretty crazy number to really think of, because considering, we're in Little Rhode Island over here, to have that many viewers, it's kind of a dream come true in a way for this company.
145,000 viewers, 1.4 million media impressions on social media this year. We have reached 25 states and 14 countries internationally just in 2021, and we thank you so much for all your support and continued support. It's only the fall season. We're just getting started with the 21-22 athletic year.
Yeah, still plenty of games to come, especially football.
Of course, all of the playoffs up until the state championship games right here on Fans Only Sports Network for so many different sports. You'll be able to catch that throughout the remainder of the fall. And, of course, ice hockey season is just around the corner.
Ooh, I can't wait to sit in the rink with you, Matt, calling these games too.
And if you like ice hockey action, you can tune in this weekend. American Collegiate Hockey Association action. The University of Rhode Island Rams taking on the Pittsburgh Panthers. We'll have 2 games for you, Friday 7 p.m., Saturday 4 p.m., right here on Fans Only Sports Network. For more information, go to Fans Only Sports, that's Fans Only, SPORTZ.com, on how to purchase your streaming pass for University of Rhode Island men's ice hockey and Providence College women's ice hockey for the club ACHA seasons. This one is controlled by Coventry in the back third as they're trying to see if they can clear. They will not. It's going to go to the touchline. Did that stay in? It did not. And it's going to be a Huskies throw to Goldstein. Comes back for Maida to redirect. Sets it forward there for Karoa. Patty. Resendez got caught up by the center backs. All 3 of them in a back 5-6 for Coventry. And I will correct my statement from pregame. Having seen Coventry play earlier this year, I know their midfield was a problem for Cranston West early on in the game. It seems today the back line is the problem. They are playing 6 or 7 back at a time.
Yeah, I mean, they're really just stopping the flow of traffic in terms of Mount Hope's offense. I mean, that's what you got to do in order to, but the thing is this offense needs to get itself moving because they need to get some points on the board if they really want to stay in this game and stay competitive. Their defense, it's only going to take a matter of time before it starts letting more goals in one by one with the fatigue from this game.
Tercero from the corner for the third time this evening. Big boot right in front. White had to come out and get it, dropped it, and then had to go down again as Corella was right there. And a long kick out to the center of the field. Coventry trying to do anything they can with it here. Faith Moore dropped back and then sent forward for Hunt to the midfield, and that one connects off and will be shepherded and scooped by Levesque. Ella Wilcox trying to redirect there.
I think that's probably one of the first offensive drives we've seen here tonight from Coventry. I don't know what was going on there in the middle. Definitely had quite a chance to get themselves some points, but a missed opportunity there for Coventry.
Today's game is brought to you by Second Time Around Sports. Second Time Around Sports, located on Atwood Avenue in Cranston, Rhode Island. Rhode Island's largest selection of sporting goods. By Manny's Sports, now reopened on Mendon Road in Cumberland, Rhode Island. Visit mannysports.com for more information. And by RR Elite Recruits, with access to 3,000 schools and 60,000 coaches across 38 NCAA sports. For high school athletes looking to play at the next level, be seen by being a part of the RR Elite Recruits family. Visit www.rreliterecruits.com to claim your 7-day free trial and profile today, and featuring an all-new fall special of $199 for the first year of membership and services with rreliterecruits.com. Serps sends that one forward for Tercero. A turn and a run through the alley by Tercero trying to get Resendez on the overlap. Resendez slows a little, tried to go for the nutmeg and was unable to get it through. Kicked all the way back by the Oakers. Moore right there in the center trying to cut across the run. Hoskins there as well. Instead, it comes back out. Mayato is trying to defend there. Gets forward for Goldstein here for the Huskies. Goldstein turning, shot, score!
Another great offensive performance there from Mount Hope. Just a lot of aggression there, moving the ball downfield. And like I said, that defense, it was only a matter of time before they were going to start collapsing.
Joviana Goldstein hits the second of the first half. It's 2-0 Huskies. One from the left and one from the right now. And that one, again, right off of the kick, controlled by the Huskies. Goldstein tried to move it back up through the middle, comes back to the backside line, and then will be taken and moved through the middle again by Patty. Coventry tries to go outside here with Moore. They have Alexis Hunt forward. Ping pongs back through the midfield again instead, and then it's taken by Serps. And pushed out of play by Hannah Jackson on the backside line. Right to the center back position. Kicked up and sent forward for Moore. Moore tries to go back across. That is taken off by Maida. Maida will work it across as she evades Maddie Moore to the opposite side, and it spins around as Diaz tries to make the run. As we approach 5 to go here in the first half of action. We thank you for tuning in this afternoon on Fans Only Sports Network. I guess we could say evening as it's past 6 p.m. time. Opportunity here, high, and a shot by Tercero finds the uprights of the football field side.
Yeah, almost wide, basically wide left of that goal post in a way. Nearly got themselves 3 points.
And Rhode Island, well known for women's soccer players doubling as place kickers on football teams. Of course, Maddie Alves plays for the Cranston West Falcons, kicker on the team there. Avery Robitaille, also a kicker on the football team. So we've seen female soccer players who are quality kickers throughout Rhode Island, and it's who's next?
Yeah, I mean,
who might be next? I mean, Tercero's a sophomore. I think Robitaille graduates this year, so
are you nominating her as a prime candidate?
there might be a spot on the Mount Hope football team for Caitlin Tercero next year.
They got one this year.
This one comes down.
Mount Hope has one this year.
Yeah, Robitaille graduates this year. So a throw-in opportunity here for Barassa. My apologies. Check that. It's Emma Serps. She works along to the outside with Tercero. Comes across the corner. Resendez tried to redirect it on the header from Goldstein. Goldstein looking for her second of the game.
I mean, and she might be very close to getting it. I mean, just the way this Mount Hope offense has performed all game long, they're just getting to the point of attack right away and not letting up.
This one's going to drop back to turn out and will be caught off of the foot of Emma Serps, and we are going to get a whistle and a stoppage of play for a substitution. And we'll have Sarah Sacchetti stand there for a second with the ball. Sacchetti, the freshman defender, plays pretty well on that outside line for the Oakers. You get a nice wide look at the field here and trying to go forward here. An opportunity on the outside. Defensively, a turn there, and it goes wide off of the kick from Hannah Bishop. And they're going to call a 6.
Yeah, definitely the nerves kicking in right there. This is the opportunity to get back in this game, but just shank that wide right there on that goal.
And that one bounces out right at midfield. It's going to be an Oakers throw as we approach towards the final minute to go in the first half. If you tuned in late, you have missed a boat of action. Caitlin Tercero a goal, Joviana Goldstein a goal. Huskies lead 2-0. And a boot here by Logan Levesque, who has touched the ball for maybe the third time in the last 40 minutes.
I mean, she really doesn't need to. They're not getting. Coventry's doesn't have really much offensive attack as we've seen so far. Hoping to improve on that come second half.
Karoa tried to get that one through. Instead, it's deflected off of a Coventry defender. Comes back out for Lang. Goes midfield, Karoa all over the place there. Drops back for Patty. Lang intercepts that one, tries to move the Oakers forward. This one drops free. Opportunity here for the Huskies. Big shot, and it is stopped by White.
I mean, if we're talking player of the game tonight, honestly, White might be one of my nominees right now. She's put on a heck of a performance tonight. The damage could be a whole lot worse for Coventry in this one, but she's doing everything she can to keep this team within a chance to get back in this one.
Joviana Goldstein right there with the shot opportunity. Resendez now tries to get it to the outside. can't. Finally goes free, and that will just go right to white. Final seconds of the first half, waiting for the referee's official whistle. And he checks his watch, so we know it's coming soon. Pulled down, no call again on the attack there was Chloe Diaz. Comes back to the middle. Karoa tries to work it to the outside line. Hits up off of Hannah Jackson's head defensively and will be cleared out by the Ochres. And there is the whistle as we reached the end of the first half of action. It's a goal from Caitlin Tercero, another one from Joviana Goldstein. It's 2-0 Huskies at halftime. You're watching Rhode Island High School Girls Soccer on Fans Only Sports Network.
Gets taken down on the play, no call made. Pops out to the blue line. Picked up here by Giuliano. Giuliano gets fluttered out of the play. Oh, and a backhanded shot and a score by number 11, Colin Riil.
Working around the end board, down deflecting off the side that only gets as far as the blue line. Fire back in! Right up into the play. Now again, another shot by Hogue as he fired one heading off the ice. A big hit down in the corner there between Barrett and a score! Right off the hit. The kick scores! CJ LeClaire ties it!
Shot saved by Schroeder. Wrap around, shot, score!
Sure. Chances with the puck for a second, fires, it goes right inside, right in front of the score! On the power play, Josie hits the back. Star, who has lost his stick in the process, they fire and it's hang on to your hats, folks. It's 3-2 with 1 second.
And it's picked up again here and fired in by Moretti. The Hendricken offense. And deep blue line. Wicked Wester.
He makes the save, and it comes back out for DeSoto. DeSoto works through, and they have it into the goal. A backcourt Gypsy 2. And
Kenzie McKenzie fires one on saved by Carr. 24 seconds remaining in the man advantage. 5-10 remaining in the blue. There's a shot and a score. Short-handed by Ollie.
Lynch sets back. Pass complete to Fernandez, and he's going to pick up about 6. He gets through 2 defenders. Coming out is White, and he is first to the ball. Amish regains right at the top of the circle. In, clicks off, and a goal.
That pass play intercepted. And it's going to be taken all the way to the house.
Switching sides. Good communication there to have Asadi hit that one. And finally
finally a mistake. Here's a run up the middle, barreling hard and into the end zone. Touchdown. Goes. Spacey's going to cut back the other way to the pine. Did he get in? Poppy in motion. Right up the gut is Brooks, and he will find the end zone. Falcons. No, another shot on goal. Right over the top.
Lynch sets back. Pass complete to Fernandez, and he's going to pick up about 6. Gets through 2 defenders. Coming out is White, and he is first to the ball. Amish regains right at the top of the circle. In, clicks off, and a goal.
That pass play intercepted. And it's going to be taken all the way to the house. Hey. Switching sides. Good communication there to have Asadi hit that one. And finally a mistake. Here's a run up the middle, barreling hard and into the end zone. Touchdown. Goes. Spacey's going to cut back the other way to the pine. Did he get in? Poppy in motion. Right up the gut is Brooks, and he will find the end zone. Falcons. No, another shot on goal. Got it! An arrow shot in a celly. Gets taken down on the play, no call made. Pops out to the blue line. Picked up here by Giuliano. Giuliano gets flustered out of the play. Oh, and a backhanded shot and a score by number 11, Colin Riil. Working around the end board, now deflecting off the side that only gets as far as the blue line. Fire back in! Right up into the play. Now again another shot by Hogue as he fires one, letting off the edge. A big hit down in the corner there between Barrett and a score! Right off the hit. The kick scores! CJ LeClaire ties it! His shot saved by Trotter. Wrap around, shot, score! Sure. Dances with the puck for a second, fires, it goes right inside, right in front of the score! On the power play, Josie hits the back. Who has lost his stick in the process, they fire at him! Hang on to your hats, folks. It's 3-2 with 1 second. And it's picked up again here and fired in by Moretti. The Hendrickson offense. Oh, deep blue line. Wicked Wester. He makes the save, and it comes back out for DeSano. DeSano works through, and he has it into the goal. A backcourt Gypsy 2. And Kenzie McKenzie fires one on save by Carr. 24 seconds remaining in the man advantage. 5-10 remaining in the blue. There's a shot and a score. Short-handed by Ollie. Lynch sets back. Pass complete to Fernandez, and he's going to pick up about 6. Gets through 2 defenders. Coming out is White, and he is first to the ball. Amish regains right at the top of the circle. In, clicks off, and a goal. pass play intercepted. And it's going to be taken all the way to the house. Hey,
switching sides. Good communication there to have Asadi hit that one. And finally a mistake.
here's a run up the middle, barreling hard and into the end zone. Touchdown. Goes, Spacey's going to cut back the other way to the 5. Did he get in?
Poppy in motion. Right up the gut is Brooks, and he will find the end zone.
Falcons. No, another shot on goal. Right over the top.
As we welcome you back to Mount Hope High School, the Mount Hope Huskies leading 2-0 over the Coventry Okers as we get ready to start the second half of play.
Let's go, Huskies!
And it's a goal from Caitlin Tercero and a follow-up by Joviana Goldstein has the Huskies leading the Coventry Okers 2-0. Matt Ellis alongside Chris Heatu as the Huskies over top of the ball and get it started with Tori Karoa. And the Huskies seemingly had their way offensively, but really also only could put 2 behind Alex White.
Yeah, I mean, Alex White has played pretty unbelievable tonight. Besides the 2 goals she's let in that she couldn't really do much about. When it comes to one-on-one matchups, she's done her job in terms of stopping this ball, and we'll see if she can do it more so Coventry can actually get some offensive attack going, get some points on the board to relieve her stress in this one.
On the flip side, Logan Levesque in net for the Huskies really had about 3 touches in the first 40 minutes, and they were just little scoop-ups.
Yeah, and once again, I mean, she's just playing great, and she's just got to keep up that consistency, and that offense needs to figure out a way, like they're doing right now, to get into Mount Hope's end.
A corner kick here for the Okers. And that one is booted out to the 18. Trying to get it forward is Sacchetti. She gets tied up there on the backside line by Patty. And then Kayla Patty will just send that one to the outside. And so a throw-in still deep for the Okers from around about the 10 on the football field lines. The faded football field lines, which might need a repaint before the next Huskies home game. We were here last Friday for a pivotal game for them against Westerly, and it was a rough one for Huskies fans that night. Hopefully they'll be back on the brighter and more positive side this weekend, as this one will scroll in and be picked up by Logan Levesque, who's had as much work here in the first 2 minutes of the second half as she did all of the first half. Coming down, and it's a collision between 7 and 7 as Diaz ran into Maddie Moore. And it will be a free kick for Moore. Taps that one aside for Mayato. Mayato is bothered there on the touchline by the aforementioned Chloe Diaz, who shepherds it outside, and a throw-in coming up for the Okers. We thank you for tuning into this evening's broadcast here on Fans Only Sports Network. Today's game is brought to you by Second Time Around Sports, Manny's Sports, and RREliteRecruits.com. Big kick there coming forward and scooped by Logan Levesque off of the foot of the midfielder, Maddie Moore. Bounces back as the Huskies offense tries to release forward on the outside there in the right wing position is the birthday girl, Hannah Resendez. Called her name quite a few times in the first half for leading plays, but she was unable to get the crosses completed and or finish a couple herself. She and Chloe Diaz so close so many times. Here is Resendez trying to get to a leading pass. She gets one right in front. Is Goldstein high, and it goes over top of the football crossbar, and Joviana Goldstein A little too much underneath that one.
Yeah, just a little too much. Probably got the whole foot under the ball there, and that's a no-no for all you soccer fanatics there. Hitting that ball with the sole of the shoe is the way to go.
Got her toe underneath and sent that one sky. Kicked out and then sent back in by Diaz. White will scoop one more time and have a punt this time around. Bounces one at the midfield and then skitters forward. Levesque will come out and boot this one in a leading position for Diaz with Resendez. Chloe Diaz instead, and it goes wide to the right.
Facing the teeth of the goaltender right there, and it comes down to almost playing chicken in a way. Who's going to make the first move? And the goaltender staring down that Mount Hope player right in her face, and she wins the battle here in this one.
And it will send Alex White to the 6, and she will take this kick. White boots that one out, gets to midfield, and then kept back up off of the head of Drawbridge for a second, comes down for the Oakers, kicks back for Gale. Maida will work with it in the backfield. And all the way across and back into midfield once again. Settled for Joviana Goldstein, one of the 2 goal scorers. Outside to Caitlin Tercero, who has the other goal on the night for the Huskies. That one is going to go out of play. It's going to be called off of Tercero, and so a 6 for Alex White. Game 2 of our broadcast from here in Bristol, Rhode Island, coming up. Following the conclusion of this game, the Mount Hope Huskies boys soccer team in action against the Hope Blue Wave. That game slated for 7 o'clock, though, given we have 33 minutes left to go here in the second half. Not looking like 7 o'clock, more probably towards 7:30 tap time. We will keep you updated, obviously, as that develops, but the Mount Hope Huskies and the Hope Blue Wave coming up right here on fansonlysports.com. Other game in action tonight is the Cranston West Falcons girls soccer team in action against South Kingstown. That game also available on fansonlysports.com. White sends this one to the middle of the field, trying to release McCrone. On the outside, they go for more. Back to the middle, easily defended there by Maida, and then cleared out by the Huskies defense. Tercero turns to Resendez, tried to go across the middle of the field for Goldstein. That's intercepted and then sent back by Christina Lang. Jumping the route is Chloe Diaz. Diaz has White caught out, and White comes and scoops it up, and Resendez was right there if Diaz sent that across. Head down a little too much, driving herself, as a Coventry player has gone down, and we might get a stoppage of play. White will scoop the ball up. We are going to get the stoppage of play, and a timeout called with 32:06, as they will send the training staff out. So a little bit of a auspicious start to the second half here. We saw Coventry with a lot of work early on in the first few minutes, and it seems like Mount Hope's trying to figure out how to resettle themselves into this game, at least leading 2-0.
Yeah, it seems Coventry has done its best to really get Mount Hope Hope off guard, and obviously Mount Hope with a majority of that momentum in that first half. We're starting to see it tilt a little bit, but I don't see enough really for me to say that Mount Hope's really faltering in any way possible here. Coventry's got to keep up that offensive pressure, though, if they want to stay in that end and get some points. I can see the potential in it, but they got to follow through with it.
32:09 left to go here in regulation. 2 goals on the board, one from Caitlin Tercero, one from Joviana Goldstein. We saw a lot of opportunity for the Huskies. They can be able to release that ball again. We've seen some good runs from Chloe Diaz and a little bit of a too much head down approach.
Yeah, I mean, they're being very aggressive, and they're honestly, they should be up by a lot more in this one if you look at what they've done in terms of their offensive pressure. But it's all coming down to just really looking for that other player, because on that last play we saw down there, Diaz, she definitely had someone to pass to that could have gotten White off guard there and left enough room to get a goal. Hence, they just got to keep that chemistry going. That's what this game's about, is chemistry, and if you don't have that, you're not going to get more points. But Mount Hope can't really, there's not much to say about them right now as they lead 2-0.
For Huskies fans who are very familiar with Mount Hope soccer, the Tercero name rings a bell well. Caitlin Tercero playing here in her sophomore year for the Huskies girls soccer team in the midfield. Her brother, Matt Tercero, is the senior goalkeeper and captain for the Huskies boys soccer team. We'll see him in action in a little bit of time from now. And Mom stopped into the broadcast booth.
Yeah, to say hello to us earlier.
Had a little chat with us and talked about how much she enjoyed being able to watch her son play on Fans Only Sports Network, or SFBN Rhode Island, as we were prior to this year beforehand. And, of course, now she's getting to see her daughter play a game as well, too. And, of course, I still think to the playoff game last year, Tercero making a save in net as a goaltender comes out, takes the penalty shot, scores, then goes back in and makes 2 more saves. And so it ends up being a win for the Huskies. We are back underway. 32 and change left to go here in the second half of action. As we mentioned, the 2 goals on the board for the Huskies, and they could easily shepherd this one out if they wanted to just play contain in the midfield. But I feel like Hannah Resendes and Joviana Goldstein and Caitlin Tercero have minds to the matter the other way. Here goes Tercero. It tips off of the hands of White and goes wide, and it will be a corner kick for the Huskies.
Now, that was a rocket of a kick, but once again, like I'm saying, these players seem to want to take the ball themselves and get that goal. You got to work with your teammates here. I saw plenty of open lanes there for some of those midfielders to really get in and get themselves a chance for a goal.
Tercero will go to the corner, takes that kick, comes back into the center. Opportunity here, pops right out for White, and she'll race that one up for the punt.
And that one flew right into her hands there. And once again, just making another great play there in the goal.
Deflects off of the side of Drawbridge. And so a throw in here for Maddie Moore. And substitutions for the Oakers. Today's game is brought to you by Second Time Around Sports, located in Cranston, Rhode Island. Second Time Around Sports, Rhode Island's largest selection of sporting goods. By Manny's Sports, located on Mendon Road in Cumberland, Rhode Island. Now open Wednesday through Saturday. For more information, check out mannysports.com. And by rreliterecruits.com, with access to 3,000 schools and 60,000 coaches across 38 NCAA sports. For more information, check out rreliterecruits.com to claim your 7-day free trial and profile today. A new fall special of $199 is an opportunity on the backside and a score.
And that's the pressure we were talking about. Coventry finally catching Mount Hope while they're sleeping there. And that ball rocketed right into the goaltender's hands, and a great job by Coventry to get that ball right into the net and get themselves right back in this game.
Levesque tried to get it. She came dancing across, made the initial save. Somehow, some way, in the midst of it, standing right there on the doorstep were multiple Oakers players, and it pokes in off of the foot of Emma Macron, and it's a Oakers goal. And now all of a sudden, here we are, 29 minutes and change left to play in 2-1. The dynamics on this game just shifted drastically.
Yeah, I think we're starting to see momentum start to shift in Coventry's favor. Mount Hope just hasn't been able to figure out really how to get this ball out of their own end, especially on the last possession. Coventry with a quick strike. They're being very sneaky in this one, but hats off to them. Their goaltenders played an excellent game tonight, and that's what's gotten them more points on this board and kept them close in this one.
Resendez trying to run for it there at the touchline, gets just a little bit too far for her. Mayato with the throw. My apologies. Check that. It's actually Maddie Moore. Saw the 7 on the back, and she was a little bit turned. Drops in the middle there. Kicked forward for the aforementioned Mayato. Resendez. Goldstein was a little too far back. That one's going to spin and be taken by White. She'll just distribute it forward. And it will be picked up, sent along, pushed into the backfield. Cleared by Coventry. Mount Hope ball from the outside line. Trying to release Resendez. That one's a little bit too far for her. White will scoop that one up.
And it seems so far in this second half we haven't seen much of a strong offensive attack yet coming from Mount Hope. That is yet to be seen. We'll see if they can start to turn things around soon.
Coventry working with it here on the far side line from our broadcast position, near side to their bench, right in front of the aforementioned Oakers bench. And trying to dribble one through the midfield here. Progressive play for the Oakers. Comes across and then sent forward by Wilcox. To the outside, trying to run hard to get to their first, was Grace O'Donnell. And it goes to the byline, and a 6 for the Huskies. A whistle and 3 players subbing for the Oakers. At least it's only 3 and not the broadcaster's nightmare. For anyone who watched the Providence College women's soccer game against MIT from last weekend, PC at one time subbed 8 players in one substitution.
Why? That just seems so unnecessary.
That is what we call broadcaster's chaos. trying to decipher and discuss who the 8 players were subbing, but PC could do that. Here's Resendez moving forward. Resendez shoots. It goes side of the net. They say offside. And to the Huskies faithful, and I think both of us in the broadcast booth were looking and going, how and where?
Yeah, I'm kind of confused. They're already in their own, they're in Coventry's end. I'm pretty sure that would not be the grounds to call that offsides, but I guess the referee sees differently.
Oh, Resendez is also body to body with the Coventry.
Yeah, so it's like
left back. So I'm wondering what.
Maybe he sees something we don't. I don't know.
Mount Hope will control it out of the backfield again. Resendez trying to heel flick forward. had the outside for Diaz. Here goes Resendez. This one's a leading pass. Instead, getting there first will be Faith Moore. Resendez is going to have to fight her off for it at the 18. Resendez comes up with a shot. Comes right across. It sits on the byline and then finally trickles out.
Yeah, tried to get that one from an absolute angle there. Just no hope there. There was just no way that ball was going through. Very, very high shot there, but a good opportunity for some points.
It will send White to the box for another 6. Gets that to midfield. Oakers work for it. Into the back third. Trying to progress play out of the midfield. Tied up here at midfield. Trying to get it across. 4 Huskies defenders right there to the outside and getting forward once again. Looked to be Christina Lang. And she is taken out of play by Drawbridge. Throw-in coming here for Maddie Moore. Coventry makes a substitution again. To things on the Huskies side, I think very well Scarlett Drawbridge might very well have the most perfect soccer name on the Huskies
Say
roster.
it to me one more time.
Scarlett Drawbridge. That literally sounds like she should be playing in England.
Yeah, I was just going to say that because I heard that on your announcement earlier at the start of the game, and I was like, that's a very interesting last name.
Here's a run forward by Caroa. To the outside, comes back in for Resendez. Resendez had an opportunity. Handball inside the box, not called. From our broadcast position, absolutely 100% clearly a ball touched inside the box by a Oakers defender, and no call, and the referee's standing right there.
It's very interesting. One call that was an offsides, and then you had that tripping call earlier tonight, and now this one. I mean, there's a lot of strange calls the referees have been making against Mount Hope tonight, and I gotta say I don't agree with them whatsoever.
Midway through the second half of action, a interesting set of circumstances surrounding A, the officiating, and B, the Huskies offense having taken a little bit of their foot off the gas pedal, and Coventry trying to climb back into this match. Huskies working forward. Here, there's a big play in the backfield. And that came out of the midfield play from Sarah Gale. Gale just deciding, I'm going to take matters into my own hands right now from her center back position, working on that back line with Shivani Mehta. They have Emma Serps on the outside in the right back position, Scarlett Drawbridge in the left back. The drop back player kind of playing in the CDM role is Kaylee Patty. Leading pass here, splits through the middle of 2 Coventry players. Resendez is going to be a little slow to the ball. Jackson will tap back and White will clear. Headed down by Patty in the midfield. Comes back for Hoskins, who tries to scoot it outside. And the Oakers look to work forward. Instead, it's only going to get as far as Sarah Gale, who will send that back up through the middle. A collision between an Oakers player, may have been Terciero, on the outside. And it was Tercero colliding with potentially Faith Moore. As the Oakers jersey numbers for those players on the far side of the field becoming a little difficult to see due to the darkness of the red and the thinness of the numbers on the jersey.
And we're complaining about the sun, and now we're complaining about the dark.
Mount Hope's number is clearly easy to see.
Yeah.
Nice big block white letters on the back of the black jerseys. Worked here by Lang. She's dispossessed of the ball. Moved forward by Goldstein, who has one of the 2 goals on the night for the Huskies. The other one coming from Kaylin Tercero. And a ball that goes out of bounds right in front of the Huskies bench will be a throw-in. Of course, just a reminder, coming up after this game, the Mount Hope Huskies boys team in action against the Hope Blue Wave. That kickoff we know was slated for 7 o'clock Eastern time. Looks like it's going to be around about 7:30 Eastern time. We'll have that game for you right here on fansonlysports.com. Back through the midfield, turning one off, trying to get there was Diaz. Set back in, and it goes right into the chest of a Coventry defender on a hard kick from Drawbridge.
Oof, I could feel that one all the way up here in the broadcast booth, just right in the stomach.
And they're going to take us. The referee's going to give a second for the Coventry player to work herself out. And that was Christina Lang, who was the recipient of a ball to the chest. Gale here on the backfield. That one goes to the outside line. Drawbridge can't keep it in. Substitutions for the Oakers. Again, as they send 2 in, they're going to take Christina Lang smartly out of this game, along with Ella Wilcox. They may have not wanted strategically to take Lang out of the game, but I think after the ball to the chest, you're gonna just take her out and let her breathe. Get some Gatorade, make sure she's okay.
Yeah, definitely make sure she's okay, because if that were me, I don't think I'd really like getting a ball right in my stomach.
Careful here for Levesque, has to come out. Moved forward by Goldstein, little too far as Resendez was trying to track that one down on the backside line with Jackson. 17 left to go here in the second quarter, second half. Thanks for tuning in on Fans Only Sports Network. Today's game brought to you by Second Time Around Sports, Manny's Sports, and RREliteRecruits.com. Mount Hope Huskies, 2 very difficult games coming up in the next week against the Cranston West Falcons and the LaSalle Academy Rams. Here's an opportunity here for Goldstein. Goldstein's going to look to turn. Has Resendez back to the side and somehow sneaks through.
That was
Chloe Diaz has a goal on the board. It's 3-1 Huskies.
Now that is something that I wanted to mention earlier about the Huskies. They've been sneaky when it comes to their offensive attacks at times and the way they've drawn up these plays. And each time it's gotten themselves points on the board, and that's a good way to give themselves some cushion against Coventry here. Great job moving it upfield.
Diaz had a number of shots in the first half that were just wide of the post. She was so close, you almost felt it was about time she was going to get one. Comes across, and she somehow was able to sneak this one under a diving Alexandra White, and it is a huge brace for the Huskies as they're up 3-1 with 15 left to go here in regulation. But here on the back side come the Oakers the opposite way, and this one will be shepherded to the hands of Levesque. So Kaylin Tercero, Joviana Goldstein, and now Chloe Diaz add one to the tally sheet. And if you are the Huskies coaching staff looking at Tercero and Diaz scoring, and you're saying, yep, at least they're here next year too.
Yeah, that's definitely big for them. I mean, and you can see they're two good little scorers who've gotten themselves a good, nice cushion of a lead right now. And obviously, we look to see more production out of them next season.
Joviana Goldstein, one of the seniors on this team, along with the keeper Logan Levesque, Lila Biancuzzo, Emma Barraza, Tori Coroa, and then Sophie Pimentel, who is out due to illness and not playing in today's game because of that. Hopefully we'll see her back in short order of time. We will see these Huskies on the road in about a week's worth of time down I-95, or I guess up I-95, across 195. I'm not exactly
Where
sure.
are they playing?
I'm not exactly sure really how you want to directional that one, but we will see these Huskies on the road at Cranston West against the Falcons in about a week's worth of time.
Yeah, I could see why you'd be confused with the direction of where they're going to go towards that game.
That's I guess that's across 195 and then down 95 a little bit to get to West if you want to go the most direct route, I guess, to get to Cranston
Unless
West.
you really want to take the detour and go over the Newport Bridge, yada, yada, yada. You know, do some sightseeing with the team for a little bit.
To the direct route, I think, is the best. Here goes Tercero on the opposite side, kicks that one across, and hits right off of the edge of the post and trickles wide, and Kaylin Tercero wanted her second of the night. They're going to say it deflected. No, they are whistling 6. Okay, at first, for a second, they kicked the ball to the corner. They kicked into the 6, kicked it back out to the corner, and now they kicked it to the 6 again. And it's going to send Alex White to the box, and she'll take that 6 big, long kick to the outside line. Comes back across, goes out of play right at the Coventry bench. Looping ball, White will take that one and will send it deep. Tercero and Meda. Along with Serps playing a little switcheroo there. Serps coming up, shifted Meda over to the right side. That went right through Resendez's legs on the pass across.
That's a huge missed opportunity there. I mean, that's the perfect setup you could have ever asked for. But this has come time and time again tonight with Mount Hope. Just missed opportunities such as that.
Back pass from Gale for Levesque. Goes to the outside. Will be shepherded up the line to the midfield for Coroa to play that one forward, and it will evade Resendez and the Coventry defenders, and so it'll be a throw-in from the far side touchline just outside. They reach in a whistle and a stoppage of play, and they're going to say out of bounds, and have to wait for a ball to be cleared off the field. Can't play multi-ball mode in soccer. Only available in pinball. Kaylee Patty works that one through the midfield. Comes back. Levesque is going to have to think smartly here. It spins off. She hit right into the foot one-on-one of the approaching Coventry forward, and that one's going to go then wide of the cage, and that may have been Caitlin Dowling in the middle of the field. No, actually it was Faith Moore.
I like that effort from the goaltender right there. I mean, really leaving your zone wide open there, but took it on herself to really go and get that ball out of an attacking zone.
To the outside And then back through the midfield here. Dancing away is Hannah Resendez. Outside for Goldstein. Back to Resendez. Offside called. And that one I will agree with.
Yeah.
Hannah Resendez was about a foot forward.
Yeah, definitely a couple yards ahead. That's definitely the right call there. Probably the first one we could agree with so far.
For those of you who may have clicked on the Mount Hope boys soccer link, noticed there wasn't a broadcast, and then clicked on the Mount Hope girls soccer link and have joined us on this broadcast. We welcome you to the Mount Hope High School soccer field and what is about to be finished in roughly 9 minutes of time, a delayed start to the Mount Hope Huskies girls game against the Coventry Oakers due to the Oakers being caught in traffic. Started us about half an hour late, therefore starting the boys team roughly about a half an hour late. And we sit 3-1 with about 8.5 minutes left to go here in the second half. Goals from Joviana Goldstein, from Caitlin Tercero, from Chloe Diaz put us at 3-1 as the Huskies look to shepherd this one to the finish line and head to 3-6-1 on the season before they run into a very hard stretch of games over the next week, as they will be on the road against two very difficult opponents, two of the best in the state in the Cranston West Falcons and the LaSalle Academy Rams. Today's game is brought to you by Second Time Around Sports, Manny Sports, and RREliteRecruits.com. College soccer action coming up this weekend on Saturday as the Providence College Friars Club men's team back in action against... Oh, there's a shot that kind of scattered wide and made the Huskies defense think for a second. Providence College Club men's soccer team in action against the University of Rhode Island. That game Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern time from Hendricken Field on the campus of Providence College. You can catch that game right here on fansonlysports.com. I think there is someone in the broadcast booth who may be doing that game on Saturday.
Wait, which one? Which one are you referring to? Central?
No, Providence College.
Providence College this Saturday?
Yeah.
Let me check my schedule.
I know you've got the Central Cranston West game Friday night, and that's going to be a great game.
Yeah, covered them last week in that big loss to South Kingstown. That was quite a game to cover, and I look forward to covering them for most of the season, see what they've got to offer in store.
First time this season we will be at Connolly Stadium for a Central game. Every time they've tried to play a game at home, it's been canceled due to COVID protocols. So this is going to be the first Central home game of the season in week 5 of the season.
That's kind of crazy to say right out of there.
We thought we were done with all that stuff to the end of last year, and it turned out it was not.
It's still here to stay. For now, hopefully. Hopefully it's a temporary thing. It's something that's killed sports for a while, but hopefully things will change. Things will change, hopefully.
Hopefully things can change. This one is tapped back. Resendez. Onside, offside. Hannah Resendez is trying to get that goal so badly on her birthday and is just finding herself a shade too far forward.
Yeah, just getting a little too ahead of yourself there. I mean, this game itself is a gift, I should say. You're winning right now, and this is something you want to do, is you're up big. Don't make any silly mistakes here, but obviously do what you're doing and try and get those points.
Yeah, would be a big one for Resendez to get one on her birthday. It's a double birthday day for the Huskies, as the freshman defender, who's also a backup goalkeeper as well, Emily Moran, celebrating a birthday as well, too. So the Huskies getting a double dose of cake on the night.
Yeah, I wonder if there's enough for us up here in the booth to go around in that locker room.
Could use a sugar high to get through the second game.
Yeah, I mean, it's something to get you going, keep you focused.
About 4 minutes and change left to go here in regulation. Huskies got a brace from Chloe Diaz that has put this one to 3-1 after goals in the first half from Goldstein and Tercero. And they look to shepherd this one to the finish line. And a 3-0 victory would send them to 3-6-1 on the season. The Ochres would fall to 0-8-0. Goldstein tried to send that one across for Resendez. Gets sent back to the midfield for Aguiar. On the outside, shepherded by Faith Moore for a second. Karawa. Resendez runs down the touchline. If that one sits up and stays in, she'll be able to get to it. She does. Comes across for Goldstein. It drops down and then flutters forward. Sent here. Lang had an opportunity. Back for the Ochres on the outside. That one is plucked forward and then run along the touchline. Cut back across for Diaz. And that one is sent off of the foot of a approaching Ochres defender coming across, and will be picked up by White, and substitutions by both sides will cause a pause in play, and they're going to say drop ball. You know, nothing there.
Yeah, no.
I mean, it was kind of, I don't see why there was a necessity to have the drop ball there, because White already had it in her grasp for pickup. So, I mean, there's no definitive difference of advantage in that situation. And we're going to get a whistle again and another set of substitutions by both sides. They'll take Barasa out of the game for the Huskies. And take McCrone out of the game for the Ochres. Sends two players back in. One being Ella Wilcox coming back. Final minutes left to go here as the Huskies looking to shepherd out a 3-1 victory. And I think to it being almost 7:30, we might be looking more at like 7:45, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
By the time that second game
definitely looks like I'm not getting home at a good time.
This one's going to come forward and be saved by White, as Tercero was looking to try to get a second one for herself on the evening. Kicked back off of the foot of Kaylee Patty in the midfield. It will be controlled there by the Huskies for Kuroa. Kuroa tied up in the midfield, and they're going to call the ball to the Ochres. Free kick for the Ochres goes instead right to Kaylee Patty. Patty will shuffle it on the outside for Kuroa. Forward here for Tercero to Resendez. Resendez looks to turn, shoots one. Resendez, a goal! Hannah Resendez, the birthday girl, puts the exclamation point to the game. It's 4-1 Huskies.
And what a happy birthday to her. What a moonshot it was. I mean, all the way from that right side of the field, and that thing just had quite an arc on it. Nobody was going to hit that thing with an oar.
Hannah Resendez puts the exclamation point on the game and a happy birthday as well. It's 4-1 Huskies with roughly about 30 seconds. I'm counting it in my head or so. We'll see what the referees call as we were into stoppage time. But without being anything insane that we've never seen happen in soccer before, the Huskies will walk this one to 3-6-1 on the season. The Ochres fall to 0-8-0 as this one is in the backfield. Tapped to the outside byline by Drawbridge. Goldstein, Tercero, Diaz, and an exclamation point for Resendez. 4 goals for the Huskies. White comes all the way out to boot that one away as the whistle sounds. A 4-1 final. The Mount Hope Huskies all over the Coventry Ochres in game 1 of 2. We will have the Mount Hope Huskies boys team against the Hope Blue Wave coming up in roughly, I'm going to say, about 15 or 20 minutes of time. We'll see how that one works, but
they're already flooding onto the field, as we can see here.
Yeah, the boys team just rolling right on the field. But that will do it for us on this game 1. We thank you for tuning in to Fans Only Sports Network for this girls soccer action between the Mount Hope Huskies and the Coventry Ochres. For Chris Hitu, I'm Matt Jolis. This has been a presentation of Fans Only Sports Network, copyright 2021, all rights reserved. Any reuse or rebroadcast of this game without the express written consent of Fans Only Sports Network is prohibited. Thank you all. We'll see you in about 20 minutes of time right here on fansonlysports.com.
Nossa, hein? Que é isso?